What is going on, everybody? We are back with another wrestling review. This is CCW, and I'm Nick,
And I'm Joe.
and we're covering Full Gear 2025. Uh,
Yes.
we had way more title changes than I expected.
It was an interesting show. It was very long.
Joe
Very long.
Joe struggles with anything past like 3 hours.
It was 5.5 hours. I would have been
No,
fine
no,
with 4 hours.
it was 4.5 hours. You can't count the pre-show because you could totally
Yes,
have.
I can because I
You,
because I watched it.
you could have skipped that shit.
And next time I will be.
Or do what I did and do something else while it's on in the background.
The
That's
things I need to do I can't do while watching television.
Oh, dude, I was gaming, watching a friend stream, and having that on in the background.
Yeah, I need to do things outside before the weather gets bad. So the things I
Oh.
need to do I can't do while that's going on.
I mean, you could have. You just wouldn't have watched it. Which probably would have served you a little bit better after today.
Boy, you're not kidding.
So jumping straight into Full Gear, let me just get this out there. I hate the entrance setup. It's just a big screen. I'm fucking tired of it, guys. It doesn't matter what company does it. I'm tired of just big screen.
And it's cheap and they don't have to drag around scaffolding. So I get it, but it is generic and boring.
But this show pretty much picks up where Collision left off with the CMLL Trios titles being defended. And here's the thing. They did this at the last pay-per-view and I thought it was pretty cool. Now they've done it
This was not.
Now they've done it two pay-per-views in a row, and I'm just like, don't wear out the cool idea of this happening from time to time. Like,
Yep.
once every 3 to 4 months is fine, but like two months in a row, and I'm just like, it's already lost its luster for me. I hope to not see it until like the end of next year at this point.
I agree.
Um, I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved the match.
I was indifferent on the match.
Yeah, I'm a huge lucha guy. So when they started doing all the flippity do stuff, I was like, woohoo!
Woohoo, flippities.
Like there was this really cool one where Mascara got tossed up and he was flipping one direction, and then he caught him with his legs and hit him with a Frankensteiner in the other direction. I was like, that was dope.
Yeah, I don't think the flippy stuff was my problem with the match. I think my match was mostly the Don Callis people portion of it.
They're my problem with anything. Boy, am I glad they had the night they had tonight.
Indeed.
So at the end of it, Hechicero tapped out to Mystico's finishing move. I don't remember what it's called, but it's basically just it's an arm bar, basically a reverse arm bar.
Yeah, pretty much. He just.
They just spin
yeah,
in circles
he just yanks
before
on
they
their arm.
they just spin in circles for like 10 seconds before he lands it, and then he holds on to their arm and they tap.
Yep.
For a guy that could do some really impressive shit wrestling, he kind of has a lame finishing move.
His contributions to this match were kind of lame because he was quote unquote hurt for
Right.
a lot of it.
I did like that other guy that I'd never heard of before. Obviously, we're familiar with Mystico and Mascara Dorada at this point. I still don't know the other guy's name, but
I can't remember his name either. I didn't write it down.
he was pretty cool. But then we actually move into the first actual real match of the pay-per-view, which was Pac versus Darby Allin. And let me say this. I will say I think this match was better than their last one-on-one meeting. Their last one-on-one meeting was so boring. It was a lot of Pac like hitting a move and then standing around. Like if you remember, we talked about it. It was like he was acting like John Cena during John Cena's heel turn. And this was way more involved tonight. Thank God.
Yeah, he threw Darby around like a rag doll for most of it.
Starting off, Darby waking up in the hospital, being all bandaged up, had me rolling. It was dumb. Don't get me wrong, but it was funny dumb, right? I laughed and I was like, "Ah, oh, this is ridiculous." But yeah, so like Darby took a press slam from the apron to the outside of the ring. It was Joe's favorite moment of the match. Him and I were arguing through Discord on it.
Yeah, it was unnecessary.
It was all necessary.
Well, I mean, it's your typical Darby Allin stuff. Just I worry about that kid's future well-being.
I don't. Darby drop kicked Pac onto a chair on the outside. Well, while Pac was in a chair on the outside of the ring. Pac. His name is Pac. I always pronounce it Pac. And it's absolutely because of Tupac. But it is what it is. There's this great sequence where Darby gets tossed into an overhead belly to belly into the corner, but then he popped up and clotheslined to shut out Pac, and then they laid there for a minute. Yep. Darby went for a coffin drop, and Pac reversed it into a German suplex, which was pretty cool.
Yep. I think he did it the last time they had a big match too.
Darby Scorpion Deathlock.
Or somebody's done it to Darby before.
Right. Darby Scorpion Deathlock is still absolutely beautiful.
Yep. Daniel Garcia does one later, and it
looked
like shit.
But yeah, Pac ends up winning with the help from Yuta. Your typical,
your typical Death Rider sequence.
My problem with this isn't that Pac won. I expect Pac.
Mine either. I expected him to win because it's a wrestling match.
Right.
And then if it was a crazy stipulation match, I expected Darby to win.
Now, I picked Darby to win because I was like, oh man, they're going to have him come out for some vengeance. And he didn't get any.
No, I felt like Pac would win a pure wrestling match.
But I feel like with Darby being banged up, they would have been fine letting Pac win without the Death Riders.
I agree. I do think that's horseshit and makes Pac look weak. But that's that whole fucking group, dude. I'm so sick of them.
We get
so much more of them.
He actually called out for help. It wasn't even just somebody came out. He waved him in.
He waved it on when he was trapped in the Scorpion Deathlock.
And I was like, that's what bothered me. It wasn't that he won; it was how he won. And I was just like, dude, Pac is so much better than this. It's bullshit.
He looks like a little bitch.
I have a feeling he's going to be the leader of the Death Riders here soon, though.
Good. Maybe Moxley will go away for a while so I can remember that I like him.
Right. And we'll get back to that shortly. So then we get to match 2. Winner of this match picks the stipulation of their next match in the women's tag team tournament. It's the Sisters of Sin versus Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir versus Babes of Wrath versus Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa.
The Time Babes or whatever they're called.
Yeah, they're the Time Bomb lovers or some shit like that. Okay, so I don't have very many notes for this match specifically because it was all over the place, which is fine. I don't mind the all over the place. I thought it was a well-wrestled match.
I agree.
But I do have... We got a nice reversal from Megan Bayne to Toni Storm. So Toni Storm went to go do a double knee, and Megan caught her in midair, and then ended up overhead belly to bellying her out of it.
Which was very impressive.
Which, dude, anytime Megan Bayne does one of her feats of strength things, I'm just like, why is she not a champion? She's insanely good.
Because they have their current champions and Tony's enamored with one of them for sure.
I know the real reason. I'm just saying.
She will be eventually.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. She also hit another one of those double German suplexes on the Sisters of Sin, and it looked better than the last time that she did it. They're just the right size for that move, let me tell you.
110 pounds.
The match ended with Tony and Harley Cameron trading pin attempts. Tony ends up getting the win off of one of them.
Small package. She small packaged her.
It was a fine finish. It was definitely not what I expected. We both had the Sisters of Sin here.
Yep.
Because I thought they were going to get the stipulation to help them win in their match.
Advance, yeah.
And now I don't know how they're going to advance.
They're probably not.
And that's fine. I don't really care. I already have who I want to win, which is going to be Tony and Mina. Overall.
Yeah. And that looks to be the way they're going. Yeah. Which kind of scares me.
But we'll see. Match 3, AEW Tag Team Championship match is my match of the night.
By a landslide. It was really good.
Let me tell you what. So you're going to find me starting to bitch about something specific as we move further down the card on this. And it's once you start getting into a lot of the rest holds and locks and focusing on body parts and stuff. Not this match specifically, but later down the card, it becomes a problem for some of the last few matches. However, this is like some classic wrestling, and it wasn't boring.
No, they moved at, and they still had some of those things. Like, they worked on things, but it just moved at a much brisker pace, and there was urgency. And
First and foremost, and this is something we've both absolutely agreed on. FTR, give me one quick second. I got to stop this light from flashing before I go into a seizure. One moment. Anyways, I actually wouldn't go into a seizure for that, but it is annoying. So,
right.
As I was saying, Joe and I have both talked about this, and I'm pretty sure we're both in pretty much agreement. FTR is is the best tag team in wrestling today.
Yep.
Arguably the best tag team of all time, if not at least top 2 to 3 conversation.
I would say easily the best in the last 20 years.
Right.
I'm going to put the Dudleys second, only because I think they kind of shined before 2005.
Right. But yeah,
they just do the little things. And
well,
I don't know. It just everything seems just so well thought out.
And one of the things that I love too is even in the loss, both people involved in Brodito looked really good.
Yes.
Which we're about to go into some more details. So first and foremost, I just want to say what in the Stoke is going on with this FTR intro.
Yeah, it was a weird artsy thing out of nowhere.
It was so unnecessary. I'm all for
AEW.
I'm all for a goofy thing happening, but like Stoke is so unimportant to this team.
Dude, he ate it big time. Well, he attempted to eat it big time.
Oh yeah, he absolutely died. It's great. So there is a couple of awkward moments, one of which was there's this weird double team move where Bandito goes to do something to both Dax and Cash, and I don't know what it was supposed to be or what happened, but it happened and everyone was down for a second, and I was like, well, that was supposed to be something else.
But at least they played it off and kind of it was sloppy. It was clearly something that didn't happen, but they made the best of it and kind of just went with it.
It looked like it was supposed to be like a double flapjack, which I thought was what was going to happen, but then it kind of more turned into a spine buster where he just kind of fell with everybody.
Yeah, because he couldn't. I mean, those are some big country fed boys. Those are some thick boys.
I mean, that's true. But I mean, if they're in the air, they should be flying forward anyways. If it was supposed to be a flapjack, again, we don't know what it was supposed to be.
He was supposed to lift them up to do something.
Yeah, and it did not happen.
And he got him up and was like, "Ooh, this is a little more weight than I thought."
We got a hell of a boss man slam from Brody King to Cash, dude.
Yeah, he did.
Oh man, it was high, it was deep.
It was angled. It was great. Full rotation, not some weird,
probably
big Kaz one.
Yeah, probably the best Boss Man Slam I've seen in a very, very long time. It was very well done. And then he slammed Dak's face first and then cashed his ass, which made me laugh.
It made me laugh too.
I don't know if
I even messaged you that.
I don't know if that
he slammed right into Cash's ass.
I don't know if that was specifically intentional. I mean, I'm 100% sure he meant to slam him on to
yeah, but he didn't mean to slam him into his ass. But it was just he was a little further away than he thought he was.
He went face first into that hiney. Let me tell you. I want to go on Twitter and be like, I want to tag him and be like, "Hey Dax, what's Cash's ass smell like?" But I don't. I don't know how well they would take that in stride. Hopefully they'd laugh about it. I mean, let's be real. They shaved each other's backs in another company. I don't think this is the most egregious thing they've done.
Please don't remind me of the Vince McMahon era and the revival. That was when he was with. That's when they were with Shane, I believe.
A little bit further in the match, Brody dove out of the ring and killed Stokely, and almost himself.
Stokely pushed Dax out of the way and ate a dive from Brody. It was great.
Both of them almost died. That was a grand time. Grand time.
Yeah, bro. When Brody gets moving, man.
It reminds me. So real quick, did you watch any of Hell in a Cell this morning, like you said you were going to?
I did not.
Okay. So one of the things that I absolutely miss that does happen in it, and we'll talk about it obviously
Big E
when we get
to his dive.
Big E does his dive through the ropes and spears. I want to believe it's Kofi Kingston. It's not Kofi. Kofi wasn't even in the match. It would have been Xavier. Not Xavier. That's on his team. Who did they? One of the Usos. My bad, dude. I'm all over the place. But he speared one of the Usos into the Hell in a Cell by doing the dive through the rope. And I was like, bro, I missed that.
I remember it. Yeah, I remember that.
I didn't watch that pay-per-view. Like, today was my first time. I stopped watching. Other than the Big Five.
The WWE Network were free.
Right.
And if it wasn't that, it was Peacock. And we've always had it. So May and I would at least watch the pay-per-views.
Other than the Big Five, I did not. I had no care in the world for anything that was going on.
You didn't miss much.
But yeah,
you didn't miss much.
So there were went through a bunch of great near falls. Brody King ended up eating the guardrail for a second time because he went to go do a spot where he does the dive into somebody on a chair, and they moved.
Cash moved out of the way.
And you do not slow down in midair, let me tell you. There was a really good sequence where Bandito rolled through a doomsday device. So
he Spanish flied him.
Yeah.
Out of a doomsday. It was great.
He Spanish flied him out of the doomsday and then ended up almost he got a near fall. It was another close one.
Yeah, he landed on top of him and right into a pin. It was great.
It was a very, very, very well done spot. He took a double spiked pile driver, which he kicked both of them did. Brody took it on the apron. And then...
it took him out for a long time while they concentrated on Bandito.
Well, the rest of the match. So then they did the double pile driver to Bandito. He kicked out. They went to go do like a shatter machine to him. He flipped out of it and did some things, but then they did hit the shatter machine on him.
A little sloppy one, but it got the win.
Well, he kicked out of that one. And then they picked him up, if you remember, and he flipped him off. Or no, he didn't kick it out of the shatter machine. He flipped him off before he got the shatter machine. It was after the double pile driver, the spike pile driver.
Yeah. He kicked out of the spike pile driver.
He flipped him off, and then he took a shatter machine, and then they won. Which we both figured was going to happen. What we also thought was going to happen that didn't happen is Cope and Christian did not show up.
Maybe they're saving that for Dynamite.
Well, now apparently, rumor is Christian or Cope's contract runs out at the end of the year. So we might not see him back.
That's weird. Why would you build it to what? So the last thing he's going to do in his wrestling career for AEW potentially is lose a match and then run out like a little bitch.
To be fair, the last thing Jericho did in his AEW career was look at his little cronies and be like, "I'll be back if I feel like you need me," and then disappeared.
Yeah, but I've let Jericho go. He's going back to WWE so he can get one last run there.
This was during a conversation because Tony had his interview with Ariel Helwani, and he said that Cope was under contract till through the end of the year. Now he might have meant end of next year because I swear I thought he had another full year on his contract. So I'm hoping him and Christian do show up on Dynamite. I just feel like now would have been a better time to do that. Like they just won.
I agree.
Come out, whoop their ass. I mean, they beat your wife.
Part of the reason why people buy AEW pay-per-views, aside from the great work rate and stuff, is that's when usually the returns happen. So people really love returns.
Oh yeah, don't worry, guys. There's a big one. there's a monster of a return. I'm so happy. Anyways, yeah. So it was a great match. Listen, if you find any way to watch this, whether it's you've paid for it or you have some nefarious way to do so, or you can just wait the 6 months for it to be on HBO Max.
At least find the YouTube clips.
Watch this match
that AEW will put out for this match. It was great. It was a really good match.
Next up is the AEW National Championship match, which is the Casino Gauntlet Battle Royal. Now for those of you that don't remember,
it wasn't really a battle royal. It was just a gauntlet match.
Well, they call it a Casino Gauntlet. It's always been called that.
Yeah, but you said Battle Royal.
Oh. Well, yeah, that's what they call it, a Casino Gauntlet Battle Royal.
Well, Battle Royal entails throwing someone over the top rope.
Fine.
If it is their wording, that's stupid, but that's nothing new with them in matches.
True. So, first and foremost, for those of you that don't remember, Ricochet debuted 2 years ago at Full Gear during that Casino Gauntlet match. I think it was 2 years ago.
He didn't win that one. He didn't win that one though, right?
He did not, but he did debut.
Yeah.
He sure won this one though. So
this was a fun match.
It really was, and it was all.
It was illogical. And had way too many Death Riders.
There's one moment we were like, why the fuck is this person in it? And then that person had the coolest moment in the entire match, and it was like, I'm not even mad. Not even mad.
Yeah, who would have guessed that Mark Davis is really good at pile drivers?
So,
and to be fair, Ricochet bumps like a madman. He's like a freaking bouncy ball, dude.
He is probably the second best person to take moves behind Nick Nemeth.
Will Ospreay. Oh, Nick?
Yeah.
Nick Nemeth. Oh, okay. Yeah, Nick Nemeth can sell his ass off.
So, first two entrances, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, they pretty much come out together. And we were so excited to watch these two go at it. And then it never really happened. You want to talk about being mad for at least 20 seconds? So, like, they spend 20 seconds trying to grab each other's legs, and then all of a sudden the countdown starts, they stop focusing on each other, and they stare at the entrance ramp. And I'm like, bruh.
And lo and behold, who was number 3?
Number 3 was Ricochet. And y'all, he brought a mic, and my initial reaction was, man, why are they letting this man talk on the mic? And then
I didn't know he had a mic at first. I was like, oh, this is genius. They're gonna beat him up, or he's just gonna be running away from him until the next person comes out. Nah, he talked the whole damn time.
But it was great. So it wasn't like last time. So the last time he had a mic and he, absolutely dragged the beginning of a match down. Give me 1 second. So, anyways, this wasn't like anything like the last time when Ricochet was like droning on the mic forever. He was like, "Yo," and I agreed with him, by the way. He's like, "Dude, we want to see you fight, not wrestle around." And as he was explaining it, and it was like, "Come on, get to going, get to fighting each other." GOA came out of fucking nowhere. Crowd probably. Attack.
They came from off camera.
Yeah, attacked him from behind, and then all of a sudden, Ricochet knocked down MVP and started beating him with the microphone in the head. And he was like, "Is that 5 mics? Hey, AJ, you like that, big boom?" Or some shit. Had me rolling.
Yeah, he was chatty. He was chatting the whole time he was smacking him with the mic.
And then, GOA was finally kicked out of the arena. So then Claudio Castagnoli comes out, and Ricochet goes to dive through the ropes at him, just to try and catch him off guard. And Claudio uppercut the shit out this man.
Yeah, he European uppercutted him out of his boots.
Fantastic time. After Claudio came out, Daniel Garcia came out. And
he was the next participant. It was weird. We had like blocks of people from like factions because there's a Don Callis block later.
Right. No, there's not. There's only one Don Callis person in this match.
Oh, you're right. They're all in other bullshit. I made a joke I made a joke to you about that because when Mark Davis came out, I was like, "Oh, great, we must be in the Don Callis block now."
Right. So Daniel Garcia comes out, and I said in my notes, Garcia came out, and I felt bad for Ricochet for a second. He's just got outnumbered so quick. Orange Cassidy. Okay, so Orange Cassidy comes out. They do some moves involving Orange Cassidy, and then there's this amazing moment where the Death Riders start doing their thing, where they're doing their circle of uppercuts, and they're doing it to Orange Cassidy, who's in the corner, and it's where like one person will run up. It'll be like Claudio go up, it will run and hit an uppercut, and then Garcia will follow up behind him and hit him with a clothesline and move out of the way, and then. Or that was after Yuta came out, wasn't it? Because Yuta came out 6th. After Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, they came out like 3 in a row.
And then... So they're hitting them over and over and over and over again. And then out of nowhere, Ricochet joins them.
And yeah, like he was all piled up with him.
And he gets his uppercut.
He's like slapping him in the chest and stuff.
I thought that was pretty fun. And then, so after Wheeler Yuta, it was Kevin Knight came in. And then Roderick Strong came in. And then Mark Davis came in, guys. And I want you guys to understand something. Mark Davis came in, and immediately Joe messages me. And he's like, what was it you said? You said something along the lines of like, why is he in this?
I was like, of all the Don Callis folk, why him? And then he immediately hits that cool pile driver.
So he hits a regular pile driver on one guy, and then the next one, he scoops up like he's about to do the burning hammer, which is just a
reverse Death Valley driver.
But he gets him in a burning hammer, but it's one full motion. So he picks him up like he's going to do the burning hammer, but then he flips him around and drops them into a pile driver in front of him. And dude, it is one of the coolest looking moves I think I have ever seen. Just the fluidity of it.
Yeah, it was great.
So then Speedball Mike Bailey came out, Mr. No Shoes himself.
No Shoes McGee.
Him and Knight were the first two that were actually on the same team to actually go at each other, which I liked.
Yeah, stakes are high, man.
Unlike them Hurt Syndicate people.
They hurt people, not each other.
And then Matt Menard came out and went straight to Daniel Garcia. And then they both fight each other out of the arena. And I want to know, listen, I want to know if by accident Matt Menard really slapped the shit out of Daniel a couple times, because by the time they made it into the crowd, you could see specifically Daniel Garcia's head was a bright red while even being in the crowd.
He may have got potatoed, man. Shit'll happen.
But yeah, dude, I was like, dude, calm down.
Yeah, Menard did have a shitload of intensity. I mean, it's not far fetched to think he got a little overboard.
At some point, I was like, I had messaged you. I was like, hey, I think because we were talking about how everybody that was in the match, and I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure the Hurt Syndicate are somewhere still alive. And not too long after that, they showed up.
Yeah, standing behind somebody, right?
It was Ricochet.
Was it Ricochet? That makes sense.
And they ended up clearing almost everybody out, dude. They were just taking people out left and right. Like, everybody was in the ring. Like, they'd take the Death Riders out. They took Speedball and Kevin Knight out.
Yeah, because we got to see Claudio and Lashley kind of mix it up a little bit.
Right. And then at some point, Kevin Knight hits a move, and then Ricochet slides into the ring, hits Kevin Knight with the Spirit Gun, and gets the pin. And as you can see...
Didn't he do his frog splash? And when he landed the frog splash, that's when Ricochet slid in and hit him with his Spirit Gun.
I believe so.
Yeah, it was nice.
Ricochet hit the Spirit Gun, got the pin, and as you guys saw from the thumbnail, if you clicked in, he is your first ever AEW, I almost said CCW, AEW National Champion.
It's an ugly belt, but good for him. I'm happy for Ricochet.
I actually don't mind the belt because, listen, as long as we never get to WWE levels of ugly, I'm okay.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's belts are uglier than WWE's right now, but...
I like their U.S. titles, and that's about it.
It still doesn't make that a pretty title.
No. It's definitely not AEW's best. I think it's better than the Unified Championship, look-wise.
I take that back. WWE does have the SmackDown tag titles look pretty good.
I like the U.S. titles.
And the U.S. title's not bad.
Yeah.
I don't like the Intercontinental title that much.
I
prefer the old IC title.
I'm not okay. Now that I can think about it, I'm not a big fan of the IC title. I don't think it's bad. It's just not very good.
Yeah, I want the old one that Cody had when Cody brought the old 80s and 90s one with the white strap back.
Match 4 was Joe's favorite match of the night. It was the no holds barred Jon Moxley and Kyle O'Reilly match.
It was fine.
I said, here, my notes are short and sweet on this one. Welp, Mox stabbed Kyle with a fork. Mox has got busted open off the turnbuckle post. I said, Kyle got his turn forking Mox in the head.
Yep. It was your basic bullshit Jon Moxley match.
Towards the very end, they got actually into a really good flow of submission reversals.
They did.
Doing a bunch of reversals back and forth, trying to get each other in submissions. I guess no holds barred match, you have to win by submission, because I could have sworn no holds barred just meant you were allowed to do whatever. But no one ever tried to pin. I don't know.
Nope. Maybe it was knockout or pin or knockout or submission. Who knows? I can't remember. They've got so many different rules for so many different damn match types.
That's true. And Kyle O'Reilly ends up getting the win by getting Mox to tap out from an ankle lock. Now
he paid for it though.
If you watch, so the match ends and Mox is sitting in the kind of corner of the turnbuckle. And there's a really good shot someone posted online of Marina Shafir looking really disappointed at Mox. Some people are thinking there's a good chance that she will be the one to initiate kicking him out. And I think that would be interesting.
As long as she's not the leader, because she can't talk that well.
No, she cannot. So what I'm hoping happens, like I said, so post-match, the refs and everybody are checking on Kyle, and Mox is like, the fuck are they checking on him for? He won. So he slides into the ring, starts fucking him up. The refs finally get him off, and the rest of the Death Riders are out there as well. And I thought that would have been a good time, and I thought they were about to just go ahead and jump Mox out, because that's what I thought they were there ringside to do. Like, dude, you can't win it. You can't win, no matter what you do. But no, they all left. So we'll see what happens. Match 5 is a no DQ TNT Championship match. If Briscoe loses, he joins the Callis family, and it's Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe. To start the match off, guys, so Mark Briscoe slapped the shit out of Kyle Fletcher. Now, I am relatively sure he slapped his leg at the same time that he slapped Kyle. At least I hope so. Because that shit echoed, dude.
Just good mic placement.
At one point, Mark dove over the ropes, or dove out at Kyle. Kyle caught him and then brainbustered him into the chair, which I thought was an amazing fucking spot. Kyle is like,
was super early. I was like, damn, for this to be this early.
Kyle is freakishly strong. He doesn't look it.
Yes, he does. He's a gigantic man.
Could you say that with any more excitement?
Gigantic man.
You went full anime. Thank you. I needed that.
You're welcome.
You actually sounded a lot like Hisoka off of Hunter x Hunter.
Nice. I got a future in voice work.
There you go.
Nice.
At one point, Mark started bleeding. So Kyle sets up this, or Mark sets Kyle up on this ladder on the outside of the ring, and he goes to do one of his dives, and Kyle moved, and Mark decimated this ladder. Let me tell you,
these ladder spots were rough to look at.
They were rough
because
to
those
look
ladders at. These ladders are not safe ladders.
So they're rough to look at, but I'm pretty sure these ones were safer than if they would have done all this with a normal ladder. These were pretty weak fucking ladders.
Normal ladder wouldn't have bent in the way in which there would have been as many sharp edges as there were with these things.
Right. I put Marcus bleeding. Kyle ate a ladder that was thrown at him. He's bleeding. Everyone's bleeding.
It was just a sign for the entire night.
There were only 3 matches with people bleeding. I'd say out of 8, that's a pretty good number. Kyle
bled.
Okay, his was by accident though.
Yes, you're right.
His
I
was
just wanted to be an ass.
He connected with something, and it shouldn't have. So, and he sneezes and bleeds. I swear this man gets accidentally busted open more than anyone else I know.
He just has an actual punchable looking face, I guess.
Kyle ended up tossing Mark off a turnbuckle into a table outside the ring. Fletcher then broke out some tacks, and then got himself fisherman suplexed into them.
Yeah, he did.
He then ate a flipping neck breaker on some chairs that were stacked up to build kind of a makeshift table. And then Briscoe froggy bowed Fletcher through a table off a ladder in the ring.
Yep.
And then
it was nice looking.
Briscoe ended up hitting this very sloppy setup, but beautifully done Razor's Edge into a barbed wire table. And then picked him up immediately, hit the Jade Driller onto some thumbtacks, and won the TNT Championship.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah,
it was good. I mean, nothing bad. They worked well. Wasn't really my type of match, but it was fine.
I enjoyed it. The more blood, the better for me. I could do a whole pay-per-view full of it, but I'm a sicko. So, and I don't mean sicko as in an AEW fan. I'm just a sicko. I ordered those Backyard Wrestling tapes when I was a kid. I liked that.
See that guy cut up from all those light tubes.
I'll say, Joe knows I'm not lying. He watched them with me.
I was there.
Oh, they were great tapes. For those of you that don't know, there was a video game based off of those tapes as well.
Which was insane. It was made by Acclaim off the same engine as like
Attitude and all them.
Warzone and Attitude, yeah.
They did
ECW Hardcore Revolution.
They did Warzone, yeah, Attitude, ECW Hardcore Revolution, and then Backyard Wrestling.
They did 2 ECW games. I just can't remember what the other one's called.
Anarchy Rules, I believe.
You nailed it. Good man.
They got better about the ECW time. Because I remember us being way more okay with the 2 ECW games than we were with the WWE ones.
Well, the WWE ones were really slow, and the inputs and stuff were messy.
And then I remember really liking the Backyard Wrestling one, even though it was the worst mechanically. Like, they changed some things that kind of ruined the gameplay.
Right. Well, you could jump off of a house in that game.
You could. It was a lot of fun. Not as fun as jumping off the SmackDown Fist in one of the earlier SmackDown games, but it's close.
Here comes the pain.
So match 6 was the $1 million trios match: Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express versus Josh Alexander and the Young Bucks. Dino Dude missed catching a dive by, it was either Nick or Matt. We can't agree on who it was. I still don't know which one it was.
He missed a buck.
But he missed a buck. Bad. The buck landed on the ground himself.
Yeah. and then he dove in after he would already hit the ground. Like, dude, like what are you doing? You totally missed your spot.
At one point, Alexander went to go tag in one of the Bucks because Kenny was coming after him, and they were like, no, you got this. You started this shit.
They both jumped off the apron. It's like, nah, you kept tagging yourself in, being a dick. You deal with Kenny. Kenny went wild on him for a little bit.
Kenny eventually, at some point, hit the One-Winged Angel on Alexander on the outside of the ring. The Bucks then pinned Jack Perry after doing the... Did they beat him with the BTE trigger?
FTE trigger. Or BTE trigger. What did I see FTE for?
I have no clue. Fuck the Elite.
I like the Elite. I'm tired. That was a lot of wrestling.
So, like I said, the Bucks pin Jack Perry. Post-match, Don Callis family celebrate. Everybody comes to the ring. Don Callis basically drags the Bucks off. And as they're getting ready to walk out of the arena, Josh Alexander and everybody else in the Don Callis family work together to jump Kenny, who was still in the ring. The Bucks are like, yo, what the fuck is this? And he was like, oh, Kenny's an idiot, so they're just going to break his leg. Like, the nonchalant way Don Callis was saying it had me kind of rolling.
Yeah, no big deal. Yeah, and he's like, hey, let's go spend the money. Let's go spend all this money we just won.
He's like, let's go spend the money. He's an idiot. He's just going to get his leg broke. It's fine.
Yeah, no big deal.
At some point, the Bucks just drop the money, run to the ring, rescue Kenny. Afterwards, Jurassic Express hold out their hands. They all shake hands. They go to shake Kenny's hand. Kenny slapped their hands away at first and then hugged them. And yeah, it looks like
so the Elite's back.
The Elite are back, and they've got a pet dinosaur with them this time around.
Yay.
To be fair, though, I think it works great with the 5 of them because you've got the original Elite, which are going to be Kenny and the Bucks. They can go for the trios titles, and then you can have the other 2 kind of try and gun for the tag championships. Now, do I think they're going to win the tag titles? Not anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't know who beats FTR for a little bit.
Cope and Christian. In fact, I'm gonna go out and say it. I think for this run, FTR are just transitional champions, which is crazy to say.
Well, that's what we thought, but if his contract is over at the end of the year, that doesn't leave a lot of time to have a reign for either of them.
That's true. It all depends on if he misspoke or not during his interview. Because, like I said, he could have meant the end of next year and just said the end of the year, not thinking about the fact that it's.
Or he could have just not wanted to tell dude the specifics.
Also true. We then get what is, in my opinion, the worst match of the show. But when I say that, I don't mean that it's a terrible match. Because it's not. It just bored the hell out of me for the entire first half of it. And this is the AEW Women's Championship match. It's Kris Statlander versus Mercedes Moné.
It was a very well wrestled match, but they did. There was a lot of psychology in this match, like a lot of psychology, injury spots, or a lot of selling, a lot of targeted attacks, a lot of submissions and grinding to a halt.
Yeah. And I have a low tolerance for it. I always have, though. That's always been a big problem of mine in wrestling. Like, again, I could sit here and tell you that's why Austin's one of my favorites. Don't get me wrong, he was known to do a sleeper, but he stomped the shit out of people. So it always felt like it was very nice and paced out with him. But like this was legit just Monet focusing on that arm and constantly doing like rest holds and things like that to try and target the arm. And I was just like, oh my God. Like I almost fell asleep, guys. Like I leaned back in my chair. My eyes were starting to flutter. It was rough. At some point, though, so she hits a stalling superplex on Monet, which was pretty nice. And before we get too far into this, I don't like the Kris Statlander coming out of an alien crashed pod thing. I think it's so stupid.
Yeah, I thought when she initially went away from the alien thing, they were never going back to that.
And here we are.
But here we are.
2 weeks in a row, somebody went for a 450 splash and ate shit, and I love it.
Yeah, she kept landing on her arm too, man.
Yeah, she did.
She was putting that over super hard, so good for her.
At some point, Monet was doing the Guerrero suplexes, and decided to do 14 of them.
Yeah, she just did them until everybody was tired of seeing that move.
It was one for every title she has. Which I thought was funny. Stat hit a blue thunder bomb on the outside of the ring. That's not what they called it, but that's exactly what it was. And that's about the point. The match actually felt like it picked up for me.
Hey, somebody may be concussed. Maybe they'll forget that they can do rest holds.
Mercedes went for the moneymaker. Kris reversed it into a tombstone, which was then reversed 2 more times. Into a tombstone, into something else. At some point, Kris finally hits her, whatever it's called, stat, whatever. I don't remember what it's called. But it's her like modified tombstone that she does, and she got the win over Monet.
Saturday Night Fever.
Saturday Night Fever.
Or whatever it is.
I just knew it had her name involved in it. I just couldn't remember what it was. And like I said, it's the most boring match for me of the entire night. And here's what I think. I think if they'd have put this on earlier in the show, it wouldn't have been a big deal.
Yeah, but towards the end, a slow match after you've already watched 6 hours of wrestling.
Yeah. It was too late in the show for me to be all super excited for anything going on. And I know there's going to be people that are like, man, I wish this match would have... I think the women need to headline a pay-per-view. And don't get me wrong, I've got no problem with women in wrestling headlining pay-per-views. But if it would have been this match, I'd have been pissed.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't have been because they're not going to have a cage match not be the main event. They're at least not that silly.
Right. We get a backstage segment. The Don Callis family are having issues, apparently... So Okada's going to defend his championship in the coming up C2 tournament, which I figured was what was going to happen because it's still technically tied to that tournament. So Okada's going to be in it. And then Takeshita's like, fine, I'm also going to be in the tournament. And Don Callis like, see, this is great. The more people that are in the tournament from the Don Callis family, the better. And then Kyle Fletcher comes out and he's like, what the hell is wrong with the two of you? Did you guys just see what happened to me? And I just lost my title because of it. But don't worry, I'm not going to be titleless for long because I'm also joining the tournament.
Complete implosion incoming.
Yeah, it is. I'm curious as to if they're all going to be on the same bracket. Because if you guys remember, the C2's done. They have two brackets. There's like a red bracket and a blue bracket. And everybody in the red bracket wrestles each other. Everybody in the blue bracket wrestles each other. And the best two, or the best one from each bracket end up wrestling each other for the winner at the end. So I wonder if they're going to stick all three of them in the same bracket?
Probably not.
I say what you do.
You were talking about.
You put Tak in one.
Is going to be in the other one. Yep.
You put Tak and Okada in different brackets, and then probably throw Fletcher in the one with Takeshita.
Yep.
All right. So for the main event, I didn't even write that it was the main event on my thing. It just bled into my notes. So I had to pee, and I came back, and Joe was bleeding. So I don't know what caused it, but it didn't take long. And it
was very early.
He cut himself deep enough that motherfucker was going. So halfway. So over and above all, it's I guess in Hangman terms a pretty tame cage match.
There wasn't a lot of room in the around the cage to do.
There was no room. Because they had the cage directly on the edge of the apron.
Which is how it should be. But I don't know why Hangman, whose move is springboarding off the apron into the ring, would ever agree to a cage match because he can't do his finish in that kind of cage.
There's one way he could. Specifically. And that's if he's up on the turnbuckle, he can flip off the turnbuckle to do it. I've seen him do it that way.
That's weird. Post match, he did it to someone, but it was
it wasn't even post match. He did it during the match because they broke the cage.
Oh yeah, because they opened the door. Yeah, so he stood in the doorway, and it gave him enough room to springboard in.
Right.
Which that was a nice spot, honestly.
So the ops get involved. Shibata comes in. He gets stopped by Eddie Kingston, who pulls him off the cage. Will Hobbs had a pretty cool moment, which was very obvious when you seen it was going to happen, but it never.
Yep.
It didn't. It still looked good nonetheless.
At least they gimmicked the chain so it could actually happen. There was a time in WWE where they were supposed to gimmick a chain for Mark Henry to do a spot like that,
and he ended up having to really do it.
And he ended up going to really rip the chain because they didn't gimmick the chain.
But yeah, Hobbs broke the chain off with his bare hands, opened the door. He got laid out. Hangman ended up hitting the buckshot through the open door onto Joe. Nobody was there to get the pin. Hook slides in the ring. And I'm going to tell you something. When Hook slid in the ring, I smiled because I knew exactly what was about to happen.
Yep.
It was way too easy to see this coming. And honestly, this benefits Kingston so much because it finally gets him away from him.
Yes.
But Hook grabs the world championship, takes it in, and ends up laying out Hangman. And I was like, this is crazy. Not in a great way. I did not see this coming initially. When you're talking overall grand scheme of things, this was not something I thought.
Now it makes sense why he tapped out so quickly and all that other stuff. And I wonder if they'll go into it on Wednesday.
Right. Well, probably not Wednesday. It'll probably be Collision. Because that's what show Kingston's usually on. So Hook ends up hitting Hangman with the title. Joe sets up for the does the muscle buster, and Hook wakes up the ref, and they get the pin. It's done. Samoa Joe, guys, is the new world champion, which I did not see happening at all.
Me neither.
And that makes me so happy.
I agree. Well, you for different reasons than I.
No. I'm happy, dude. I love Joe as champion. I feel like Joe, in the last, since I've been watching, Joe's had the, for me, best championship run.
I like Joe's run. I don't like this version of Joe. His behavior and kind of weird heel things that he's been doing has been strange.
Right.
But as far as like Joe the wrestler, yeah, I love me some Samoa Joe.
And they immediately, for those of you who don't know, set up the next match. Not intentionally. I mean, intentionally, but not how you guys think it's going to happen. So, all of the ops are in the ring. They have their ops crew with them, whoever these people are.
Yeah, apparently there's an ops dojo now. That was unbeknownst to me until today.
Yeah. And there's this whole lineup of people that are just in the ring celebrating with Joe, who looks really great, by the way. I have this one picture I sent to Joe, and I wish I could have made it the thumbnail, but it's the one where Joe's holding the title with just this huge crimson mask through the steel cage.
Oh, yeah. He's bleeding like a stuck pig.
Oh, such a good picture. But all of a sudden, the lights go out. And I was like, because I had just messaged Joe, and I was like, it would be hilarious if at this moment it's revealed that MJF had already put in to face the winner of this match at the end of the night. Like, I thought it would have been a great thing to transition right into MJF being champion. Like, Joe's fucked up, MJF wins the title from him. Now, obviously that didn't happen. Something better happened for me. So the lights go out, and I'm like, okay, this isn't MJF. Who the fuck is is this Sting? Is Sting gonna show up? And then all of a sudden, the spotlight shines, and you just see Prince Nana standing there. And I was like, dude, I jumped and cheered. Like, we're talking full on, I'm 15 again, watching any random Attitude Era pay-per-view. Excited. Because one of my favorite wrestlers is back. Unfortunately, he doesn't have as good a theme music. Hold on one second. You're not coming through very well, Joe.
Is it coming through very well?
Is your headset dying?
My headset is plugged directly in.
Oh. Now I can hear you. It sounded like your mic thing was covered.
Oh, that's weird.
But yeah, no. So, you still get the same start of the song though. Whose house? And then the new music kicks in, and I cheered, and he walked to the ring all slow, looking like Timu fucking Booker T with the scruffy beard and everything. He walks to the ring all slow. He gets to the ring, and they're him and Nana standing in the ring, and you have this line of ops people, one on each side of the ring, and Joe's like offering Hangman up to Swerve, and Swerve makes it about halfway down the line of people, and then he attacks the ops people, which I knew as soon as he came out he wasn't going to go after Hangman.
Him and Hangman kind of were good before he left,
right,
with his injury.
And at the end of the day, Swerve's also going to look at it as, we all helped to get Hangman that title, and for you to turn around and be the way that you are. Like, it's one thing, and this is how, as a face character, they're gonna think. It's one thing to want to go for the title, right? It's a whole nother thing to be an absolute dick about things. So yeah, Swerve attacked the ops crew, and we actually had a really cool moment at the very end where Swerve and Hangman were standing side by side. Swerve looked a little more calm than crazy-eyed Hangman.
Crazy-eyed, bloodied Hangman.
But yeah, that's how the show went off the air, was them staring down the ops. So, it helped them being at the end of the show. It woke me back up. I popped. I screamed. I cheered. It was a good time.
We didn't mention it at the start of the match, but Hangman got new music, and it sucks.
Oh, I wrote it down somewhere. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was like, Hangman has the worst music. No, I didn't write it down because I went onto Twitter and bitched about it.
Yeah, his music's awful. Why can't he just use his Twitter music that was great?
Yeah, he has, like, this is the worst Hangman music so far, ever, that I've heard.
Agreed.
But yeah, that's Full Gear in a nutshell, guys.
It was a very long night of wrestling.
Very long night. Don't forget, moving forward, we're not doing SmackDown. We're not going to have anything this Friday night, I believe. Or no, this coming up Friday night we will. It's going to be our Pick'em show.
Yeah, because War Games is next Saturday.
Yes. So we'll have our Pick'em show. And then the Friday after that, if I'm not doing D&D, we will record our episode for Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell 2017.
2017. If not, we'll probably record it on Saturday with the pay-per-view. Because I've already got the show fully watched. I've already got like this full thing ready to go with it as well, so that it's not just a picture. It's a series of pictures.
Yes.
It's a slideshow.
Nice.
So, yeah. That's it. Do you have anything else to add? I think it was a decent pay-per-view overall. It was worth my $40. Can't complain.
$8.50, so I'm not mad about it. I think it was two really good matches, being the tag match and the gauntlet match, and then just kind of fine to good after that.
Yep.
Which, not bad by any stretch.
Listen, I am so glad that we didn't get War Games and this on the same day.
Oh yeah, this would have been, dude. I would have already been asleep. We'd have recorded Sunday night.
It was, yeah. But all right, guys, that is gonna do it. We love y'all, and we will talk to you next time. Deuces.
Later.